Jamaica is known as a cultural superstate, an island of talented people, world dominators in music and sports, just to name a few. Today on Jamaica Magazine, the pages highlight the work being done to propel Jamaica in another sporting arena, golf. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Stay with us. The magazine unfolds right now.
Good day, ladies. We're going into communities to identify persons on the voters list over 40 years old who have died, so the EOJ can update their voters list.
Oh, Derek can't come off of the list now, last year I'm dead.
Exactly.
From November 2018, the EOJ will be conducting a special exercise to remove the names of voters that have passed away from the voters list. You can help. Call the EOJ at 888-991-VOTE. For more information, visit our website at ecj.com.jm.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez, and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, December 4. A $13 million project to restore the hydrological and other physical functions of the Negril Great Morass in Westmoreland has been launched. The Integrated Water, Land and Ecosystems project is being funded by the Global Environment Facility through the United Nations Environment Programme, with support from the government. The National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, is the executing agency. Implementation begins in January 2019 and continues through to 2022. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Daryl Vaz, says the project is a timely one.
The biodiversity of the Negril Environmental Protection Area is threatened by human-induced drainage of its wetlands, coastal development, unsustainable agricultural practices, and the proliferation of informal settlements.
The project will address areas such as pollution management, build community capacity, and improve the supporting systems of the Great Morass. Negotiations are ongoing with approximately 40 companies to become licensed with the Jamaica Special Economic Zone Authority, JCEZA. The companies are in the manufacturing, services, and logistics industries. The disclosure was made by JCEZA's chairman, Metri Siaga, who says the companies represent millions of US dollars in investment and increased employment. Mr. Siaga says they will operate as standalone special economic zones or as developers within the zones.
We feel that we are moving in the right direction. We feel that this is a good sign. We feel that it is testament that the architects of this new piece of legislation did the right thing because it is creating the investment that we need in the country. Just this morning we signed an MOU with Jampro, who are going to be a significant part of helping us to market and promote the investments that we need in the country.
The JCEZA's chairman says the number of approved new applicants are now 10, with another 5 being recommended for approval. To date, there are 109 companies operating in the free zones, which will transition next year into the special economic zones. Mr. Siaga was speaking on Friday after the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding with Jampro to market and promote investments within the zones. 50 exporters are to be trained and mentored under Export Max 3, which was launched on Thursday. The program provides capacity building and market penetration opportunities for local firms that are ready to grow beyond Jamaica's borders.
The primary objectives of this year's program is to identify the specific needs of the target companies and to design and implement customized enterprise development initiatives to improve their business performance and competitiveness.
Industry and Commerce Minister Audley Shaw has commended Jampro on taking the program this far.
This launch seeks to build on the success of Exports Max 1 and 2, which together recorded over $2.2 billion in sales. Indeed, its previous success sets the stage for the implementation of this third iteration, which we are now undertaking on a much larger scale.
Export Max 1 began in 2011 with 15 exporters, followed by Export Max 2 with 20 exporters. Export Max 3 is being implemented in partnership with the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association and the Jamaica Business Development Corporation. The Consumer Affairs Commission is once again urging buyers to demonstrate extra care during this high shopping period. The agency says appliances and electrical items topped the list for the highest complaints received by the agency during the financial year. This accounts for 33% of its database. The complaints are over an 8 to 9 month period, with a 9% increase since the start of the financial year. In addition to shopping around, Ms. Campbell says where possible, consumers should have items tested before leaving the store. They should also request a receipt as proof of purchase in the event the item becomes defective.
And when we say receipt, we mean proper receipts, not just a listing tape, but receipts with information that gives you the name of the store, the date of the purchase, a description of the item that you purchased, any other fees that may be there attached to this to the purchase of the item, and there may other information that you can always get on the receipt. But make sure that those things are there.
The CAC's Chief Executive Officer says a warranty is another key piece of information to get when purchasing appliances or electronic items.
We have to ensure it is written. It is written on our invoice or some of the documents that we get from the store. And when we ask for warranty, we have to ensure what is it that it covers.
Ms. Campbell was speaking at a JIS think tank on Friday. The newly constructed Savannah Lamar Inclusive Infant Academy is now open. The Westmoreland-based institution, which caters to students with and without disabilities, is the first of its kind in the parish. At the opening ceremony on Wednesday, Minister of Education, Senator Ruel Reid, said the institution was built in keeping with international standards.
Inclusive education means, therefore, creating an environment to all different and diverse students to learn side by side in the same classroom. They collaborate and participate together in school activities, including the same sport, meets, and plays. Everything together. Inclusive education values the unique contributions each student brings to the classroom. Everybody is special in the sight of God.
Minister Reid commended Rock House Foundation for partnering with the ministry to construct the school. And finally, the new $1 million bypass road for the 3 Miles area is now open. The Chesterfield Drive roadway was commissioned into service on December 2. It was built to bypass 3 Miles and a section of Spanish Town Road, where China Harbour Engineering Company Czech is undertaking road development works. The new road runs from the end of Chesterfield Drive in the Seaview Gardens community to Marcus Garvey Drive in the vicinity of the Tinset Pen Aerodrome. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
I'm deeply concerned by the number of Jamaicans killed on our roads. Safety on our roads is our responsibility. Jamaicans, drivers, passengers, motorcyclists, and pedestrians, slow down. Observe the rules of the road. Be courteous. Drive defensively. Be considerate. Buckle up. Wear a helmet. The careless overtaker is only rushing to the undertaker. Not observing the rules of the road could cost you your life and that of your loved ones. I encourage all road users to take special care as we use public thoroughfares. The life you save may be your own. Remember, your family wants you to arrive alive.
Up next, the whereabouts and activities of Prime Minister Andrew Holness during the past week.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness is currently on the last leg of a 3-country assignment, which saw him participating in 3 conferences and engaging the diaspora. Catch the highlights of his assignment in Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Anthony Morgan. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is currently in Trinidad and Tobago, championing the urgent implementation of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy CSME. The 2-day conference, which began on Monday, is a follow-up to July's Heads of Government Conference in Montego Bay and September's Ministerial Subcommittee meeting in Barbados. CARICOM leaders are seeking consensus on the way forward for the grouping in light of the recommendations put forward by the Bruce Golding-led CARICOM Review Commission report. Before that, the Prime Minister was in Argentina for the November 30 to December 1 G20 summit. He called on leaders to move from climate talk to climate action. Mr. Holness said this could be achieved through sponsorship of the United Nations Climate Financing Initiative and the implementation of a fairer way to decide how countries access climate change funds.
Countries that demonstrate fiscal credibility should be eligible for international cooperation and assistance in the acquisition of ex-ante financial insulation for the cost of emergency response to natural disasters. Furthermore, GDP should not remain the sole determinant of graduation, where vulnerability so clearly impacts small island states and economic resilience. This aligns our commitment to promoting fiscal responsibility, debt sustainability, and climate resilience.
Jamaica and host country Argentina also signed a cooperation agreement on sport. This is a follow-up to the 2017 agreement signed between the countries in the areas of art and culture. On the margins of the G20 summit, Prime Minister Andrew Holness also had fruitful discussions with world leaders. Talks with his Singaporean counterpart centered on deepening cooperation. Renewable energy, climate change resilience, and partnership in development were discussion points between Mr. Holness and India's Narendra Modi. The Prime Minister also held talks with the Secretary General of the United Nations and French President Emmanuel Macron. Ahead of the G20 summit, the Prime Minister was in the U.S. state of Washington, D.C. for a high-level conference on building resilience to disasters and climate change in the Caribbean. While calling for multilaterals to institute a vulnerability index for small island developing states to access funds for climate change, Mr. Holness urged the grouping to broaden its disaster resilience dialogue to include slow onset events.
Not just the ones that we see happening every year during the hurricane season, or with major rain events or earthquake events, but those that are slowly eating away at our capacity to survive.
As a precautionary measure, Jamaica signed a $285 million contingent credit loan facility with the Inter-American Development Bank. The funds are expected to provide immediate financing during the emergency recovery phase following a natural disaster. While in Washington, D.C., Prime Minister Holness addressed a protocolary session of the Organization of American States, OAS. He pledged to increase Jamaica's cooperation with its development partners to get 50% of its energy needs from renewables by the year 2030. Mr. Holness said the state had been diversifying its energy sources to include renewables and upgrading Petrojam to supply Jamaica and the region's energy needs. And with OAS support, Jamaica will be hosting the 4th ministerial meeting of the Energy and Climate Partnership of the Americas in October 2019. That conference will give the island an opportunity to exchange and gather information to achieve energy security.
Together, we must continue efforts aimed at promoting regional energy cooperation through different strategies, identifying energy initiatives, and exchanging experiences within the countries of the Americas in support of the collective development objective.
The Prime Minister used Tuesday's function to urge the OAS to strengthen its support of member states' fight against the illicit trade in small arms and light weapons.
It is rapidly leading to the destruction of many of the gains made by countries in the Americas.
The Prime Minister's D.C. visit also saw him signing a U.S.-Jamaica Energy Investment Framework Agreement. Wednesday's signing is expected to yield additional investment and export opportunities for both countries.
And we're also very thankful for the understanding and facilitation that you have given us in other critical regional matters. It really means a lot to us. And as we look to strengthen our relationship, we welcome the deepening partnership in energy.
The Prime Minister also carved out some time to meet with the diaspora at a town hall. As he pledged to work more closely with the diaspora, Mr. Holness announced plans to establish a commission to study violence in Jamaica. The commission is to make recommendations to transform the island into a more loving and caring society. On Saturday, the Prime Minister expressed sadness at the passing of the 41st President of the United States, George H.W. Bush. He recognized the 41st president as a man of strength, a believer in the building of democratic institutions, and a friend to the region. The past week also found Prime Minister Andrew Holness committing his government to pursuing initiatives that protect the nation's children. Among them, fast-tracking work to amend key legislation impacting children, finalizing the National Plan of Action for an integrated response to children and violence, and accelerating targets set by the Global Partnership to End Violence Against Children.
My passion, both as a government official and a devoted father, is well known, and I can assure you that our government will continue to make a priority actions geared at protecting our children in meaningful ways.
The Prime Minister delivered that commitment on Sunday in a message to a conference being staged by the International Society for the Prevention of Child Abuse and Neglect, ISPCAN. Sunday also saw the Prime Minister expressing pride at Jamaican Dalton Harris being named the 2018 X Factor competition winner. And that's how we close out Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the Office of the Prime Minister.
The Ministry of Tourism's plan to push Jamaica as a Gulf destination has teed off. Global Gulf tourism earnings stand at $23 million. The country owning a few of the world's best courses can certainly rake in a larger share of the earnings. Coming up, Jamaica as a Gulf destination.
We have been building a tradition in Jamaica for sports tourism, and golfing is one of the sports that we have identified, and we'll be spending some resources on that over the next few years.
People go away for golfing, people go away for scuba diving, people go away for water sports activities, people go away for a ton of reasons. Golfing is one of them. Why not then ensure that you have the kind of product that is going to sell every single day of life? If you have the good golf courses, the people will come to the destination.
They say it's a 4.5-hour walk wasted, but I think at the end of the day, in the world in which we live, a lot of people utilize that to do a lot of business because you're in a confined space for an extended period of time.
Team number 9.
Sandals Resort is among the local properties that have been selling Jamaica as a course for golf. The resort hosts an annual travel agents golf tournament at its 18-hole championship golf course, which is decorated with lush flora and fauna. Yearly, about 80 travel agents from the United States of America and Canada are provided with an all-expense-paid weekend getaway to the island for the prestigious golf tournament.
We use it as an opportunity to educate the agents a little bit more about the product from our offerings such as our Love Nest Suites, our 5-star global gourmet dining experiences, the exchange privileges that you have in the area. But then we also use the golf tournament as a way for them to expose them to the golf course, the fact that we have the best caddies, the rolling fairways, really all the things that they can actually go back and market to their clients who are interested in playing golf in the Caribbean.
This year's been amazing. I'm getting better at my game because I used to not play. I used to just attend, and now I'm playing.
Though they are not golf pros, they compete for bragging rights and illustrious awards.
And the winner for the most posts is Barbara Lee. The winner for the female closest to the pin is Sonia Eartham. The next award, which is for the men's closest to the pin, Joseph Eartham. Team number 16, Mann, Rother, Elmo, and Beckman. Can you guys come on up for me? Or runners up. Team number 13, of Mark and Shayla Gerling, who played with Doug and Janet Hornick. Congratulations to our tournament winners.
The best way to sell anything is to experience it. So they're here, they're having fun, and because they're salespersons, they're extremely competitive.
Golf is fantastic. The island is amazing. The people and the culture, and it's English speaking, so that also helps.
There's no way you can have a bad time out here. It's just, everything's phenomenal.
The tourism minister, among a throng of Destination Jamaica sellers, has seized the opportunity to confirm that the island is welcoming to golfers.
Golf is such a wonderful sport. It helps in many ways to build what we call the higher demographics. We are going to work harder with the Jamaica Golf Association in helping to look at improving significantly these courses and to enable us to bring more of that demographic into our destination.
That demographic includes not only men, but also women and youngsters who tee off in the game of balls, clubs and holes.
My name is Radina Laban. I love to play golf, and in the future, if God's willing, I'd love to be a professional golfer. I just love the sport. I've learned to manage myself more, my behavior, sit down, relax, free my mind, just have a good time.
I play golf because it helped me to interact more with my friends. It helps me to get off the road, keep me out of trouble. So, sometimes it's hard to just sit down in the house and do nothing.
Golfing is such a great sport for husbands, wives, families. It's just for everybody.
We are a golf destination. Now, the difference between a golf course and a golf destination is that a golf course focuses only on golf. When you think about who we are as Jamaicans, the bobsled team went to a place to compete in something that doesn't exist in tropical Jamaica. Jamaicans are good at whatever they do. Let's show the world golf is just one of those other things.
Cancer, stress, high blood pressure. Guard yourself against these potentially deadly conditions by eating healthy. Give your body long life with foods such as low-fat milk, dried and fresh peas and beans, unsalted nuts and seeds, fresh vegetables, fruits and coconut water, and eliminate processed seasonings such as seasoning salt, soy sauces and ketchup. When it comes to meats, remember to remove the skin to reduce the intake of fats and oils. Meats should also be baked, steamed, grilled or roasted. Fish is also a preferred protein option. To eat healthy, fill your body with a variety of foods from all the food groups. And remember, eat at a slow pace and in small bites to help aid digestion. This helps to maintain a healthy, balanced and nutritious diet, strengthening your body to ward off illness and prolong life.
Jamaica is also known for its food, producing some of the best ground provisions, herbs and spices. For this reason and more, place of vending should be world-class, equally matching the quality of the food on sale. Next, an island-wide market upgrade project being implemented by the local government ministry.
It is a cultural paradox in the country of bounty. The land's fruits, fresh and nutritious, sold within spaces, too many of which are eyesores. The Ministry of Local Government and Community Development is changing that, delivering market spaces that are as appealing as the produce they display.
Most of our markets are in a deplorable condition.
These markets are not conducive for vending or for persons to ply their trade.
That is slowly changing. Repaired roofs, properly made stalls, improved flooring, ample parking, and concessionaire shops are taking shape in markets across the island.
It is the obligation of the government to ensure that we provide the necessary resources.
The market rehabilitation project forms part of government's drive for economic development. This is where producers and consumers connect directly as they haggle and hustle to make the sale or get the most pounds for their dollars. And in the midst, people talk, socialize, and stock their food baskets with high-quality local produce. It is a system worth preserving and maximizing to serve more of the population's needs.
The concept of not just having a market that caters for ground provision and haberdashery use, to have a market that will also create other services in the same complex.
Among the markets under repair is the Maypen facility in Clarendon. It has been expanded with modernized sheds and containers to replace wood stalls. $3 million was also spent to renovate the once leaking roof.
We recently did some work on the roof. It used to leak very badly. And now, after the works, I'm now hearing from the vendors that it's good again.
Where the people them sell the clothes, it used to leak. And the mayor got it fixed. They are comfortable right now because they are not wetting up no more.
We are in the process of putting in a rainwater harvesting system, channeling the water into a used tank in the corner where we can use all of that water to clean the market. There's another area there that we intend to cover and have it properly rendered, you know, so that food vending can take place there as well.
In Hanover, the Hopewell Market will be refurbished at a cost of $20 million. The entrance will get a facelift, while the roof, electrical system, plumbing, stalls, flooring, and bathrooms will be repaired. In St. Andrew, the Stony Hill Market will face $30 million of refurbishing work. Users will soon have renovated bathrooms, an improved entrance, a better roof, and concrete stalls. The Papine Market, also in St. Andrew, will be repaired after recent fire damage. A new Falmouth Market is being built at a cost of $300 million through a partnership with the Port Authority of Jamaica. And the Charles Garden Market in St. James will be refurbished at a cost of $15 million. Work has also started on the Port Maria Market in St. Mary with a budget of over $55 million and an April 2019 completion date. While those markets are being upgraded, others have already received their facelifts. Phase 1 of the Clarkstown Market in Trelawney, which includes a new transportation center, was recently completed. Phase 2 is now underway at a cost of $20 million. And if anybody is carrying their ackee to the Linstead Market these days, a $12 million investment means there should be no electrical short circuit taking place.
When we spend the money to upgrade and to make the markets into an acceptable position, I am going to challenge our vendors to utilize the markets once we have undertaken the necessary repairs.
There are over 50 active markets in the country, showcasing produce that are pound for pound, among the best in the world. The local government ministry is ensuring that these facilities are of equally high standard.
Thanks for hanging with us today. Please visit our social media pages so you can remain in the know while we're off screen. Click on any one of these handles displayed and you may find us there. Or send us an email if you have a comment or a question. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.